Welcome to Know How Show Now series, which you see on the board. This is an extension of our regular series, Know How Now. And in this particular series, I am going to show you how to study, especially just before the examinations. In fact, 4 of our students have posed questions similar to this particular topic, which compelled me to do this particular video. I hope this particular video and the contents will definitely be useful to all those students who are preparing for different types of examinations. Call them academic, call them competitive, call them job linked examinations. I hope this particular video is going to be useful to all of them, all of you, and all the learning enthusiasts who wish to propagate these existing theories in the world. These videos will be presenting you many theories which have been practically tested inside the classrooms and for the sake of examinations, and they have been producing favorable results to many of the students or stakeholders. I am your known Sarath Kumar, who is going to present you this particular video with different contents. I thank all those people who have been working with me in the production of this particular video at the outset itself. Now, let us see what is going to be the contents. I have divided this particular video into certain segments. In fact, 3 segments. This is the first segment in which you are going to learn certain important tips which are going to be useful, especially when you are ready for or when you are not ready for both. When you are ready for, it will definitely cement your preparations and better your understanding of what you have read. If you are not prepared for your particular examinations, this will be a very apt path for you, and you can choose whichever that is very much you think conducive to your own goals and your own pace of learning. Now, without any further delay, let me take you to one after the other. As you see here, this is the first study system, and you are going to have certain important what is called systems. So the first system is, as you can see here, flashcards. So what you need to do is, you are going to take an A4 page, something like this. You take an A4 page like this, and on this A4 page, you divide it into 4 parts, as I have shown here clearly. This is an A4 sheet, and you are going to divide it into 4 parts, and each part is going to serve the purpose of a card. Because you can flash it and show very clearly, you can call it a flashcard. This is a very age-old technique which has been working for all the students across the globe. My 29 years of teaching experience has really made me propagate this particular technique to all the students who are going to prepare for the examinations, and especially when the duration for the preparation of exams is very, very short and limited. Sometimes exams are announced very, suddenly due to certain situations, and then you don't have much time to really cope up with the preparations and all. At this time or during those troubled periods, definitely this technique is going to be useful. So what you need to do here is, you take, as I told you, an A4 sheet and then divide it into 4 parts. Take the very first part. You read whatever you have read. Okay, you will definitely get some kind of questions on that. So you write that particular question, or sometimes it can be a concept. You can write a question, or you can even write a concept. Either you can do. So you can take what is called a question like this. You can take a question, and after that you can also what is called write the total concept which you actually wanted to write. You can do any either of them, so that it would actually seem very correct to what exactly you wish to show. So either question or that particular concept you should write on one flashcard. After that, you have to write the answer. After your study, you must be writing the answer in your own way. You must be writing the answer as well in your own way on another flashcard. So together that forms a single unit. There is a flashcard with your question or the concept at hand, and there is a particular flashcard on which you are going to brief the entire concept in your own way. You can use any language for this purpose, because this is going to be useful only to you. You are the recipient of this. No one is going to read this except you or whom you wish to share that particular flashcard. So you can use your favorite language. Not necessary that you should use only English. Please understand this. You can use your language in which communication is very much convenient to you. Here, my main outlook is not what is called your empowerment of English language skills. I am not looking at that. I am actually focused on how better you understand a particular topic and how long you retain the contents of the topic in your mind, so that you can actually reproduce the contents of that topic inside the exam hall. So that's what is my main agenda here. We are not focused at English development skills. If children definitely ask me and learning enthusiasts definitely post me, I definitely come up with such videos as well. But tentatively, I must be addressing this very important topic of the present times and how to study. So please remember that. So now please remember these three. Once you are prepared with these cards, each subject will have different cards, and you can also go with different colors as well. See, 1/4 of an A4 sheet and differently color coded. You can what is called code a particular subject with a specific color. For example, red is for, let us say, physics. Then blue is for chemistry, or something like yellow can be mathematics. It's up to you, whatever may be the color code, which should be uniform across this particular subject. Sometimes even within the same subject as well, you can make a topic. So this is the way in which you are engaging your brain very actively. So this way you are going to retain and you are going to use it for a longer time, at the same time bettering your comprehension of that particular topic as well. So I am working for comprehensive, what is called comprehension of that particular topic. That's what is my main agenda. So after making your own what are called flashcards, you can divide them into three segments within the same topic itself. Things that are unknown. So what are the things which you have not yet known, and things known which you have already known, and finally things essential. You can see how I color coded. Even you can find that difference here. Things unknown, things known, and things essential. Sometimes things essential can incorporate both, first and second. You can have both. So that is how you are going to do this flashcards. Now I take you to the second study system, and within this particular part itself, this is what is called that is, if you see flashcards, the next one is another than the margin space. That is using the margin space which is inside a printed book. Sometimes you are referring to textbooks which are not only the prescribed ones, but are also based on the prescribed syllabus. Some other publishers would be coming up with their own textbooks. So whatever may be the book that you are following, on either side of the two pages, you will find some space which is usually called margin space. So how to make use of that particular margin space, especially when the margin space is a little longer than what we expect a margin would actually be. So in such a case, what we are going to do. So here you have on the right hand side all the regular text that keeps on flowing. I indented them for your understanding. After that, on the empty space which you have, that is once the text is printed, so this portion actually corresponds to the printed position. Now leave that part and take the remaining part. You will have some empty space. So within this empty space, you can have these many what is items according to your own agenda, or according to your own whims and caprices, according to your own, most importantly, necessities. So queries. So you can write some questions there. They can be about extent of that particular topic. Now I use this word extent here because I hope this video is not only applicable to what is called the PU second year, first year students. I hope this particular video is applicable to most of the students. So that is the reason why I use this particular video, the words like queries and summaries, all these things. So even these are useful to you as well. So you have extent, relevance, causes and effects, and related to other things which are related to the same topic. You should be writing only questions you can write. Now you see, I don't give much importance to the top because it is already printed. Page number is printed, topic is printed. So I'm not at all worried about it. It's already done. We have got nothing to do with that. Then you can also draw some particular diagrams which are not in that particular page. That is actually some 3-4 page either on the previous side or afterwards. So that part you can draw 1 or 2 figures. So they are for better understanding and enhancing collaborative work. So you are collaborating a particular, the present text with a particular diagram or with a particular organized chart which is actually in the previous pages. That you can actually do. Then you can write summaries. Now I always prescribe you to write summaries because of 2 reasons. The first reason is, it is of course cementing the knowledge that you actually very recently gained. This is the first thing. Second important thing is, it is going to reveal how far you can precisely express yourself. That is what is called a linguistic skill. That is a language skill. So this has a double advantage. That's the reason why I always ask my students to summarize. You must be using only points, and that too content words. Don't go with grammar words. Grammar words are none other than which never change. For example, you take a word like beauty. Beauty is noun, beautiful is adjective, beautifully adverb, beautify verb. So nouns, adjectives, verbs, adverbs, these are the only 4 categories which are called content words, and use only those words, not is, was, will, shall, for, in, by. All these prepositions and pronouns and all you can ignore. These are called grammar words which cannot be changed. So write only those points words or content words in your points. Then you have doodling. Doodling, of course, I am talking about this doodling in my other series, Know How Now series. About ideography. 6 parts we have already done. Very soon you are going to get the links, and many more are going to do that. So if you correspond this video with that, you can also get the idea of why we should actually do doodling. This is not the agenda. You can also draw some small diagrams here and there for your personal idea of what exactly you are studying. That is another thing. For some topic associated content, you can doodle. And of course, you can also bring some photos, images there, and you can fix them there. From internet you may download, and which is not in that particular book, you can download and you can incorporate there. And of course, you can write this referencing. This is all for advanced learners, especially this. You can also write some references, especially when you are preparing a thesis work, or when you are actually writing a paper, a research paper. This would definitely be useful to you. At the end of the page, you are just writing some references that also would be helpful to you. So that is how you are also going to do this. So this is good for already read content. So already you have read that particular text, you are doing a second time reading. At that time, this technique of making use of margin space, making use of margin space, is going to be very much useful to you. Now I will take you to the third important system, and that is other than mind mapping. This is a very popular system. In this particular case, I am choosing 2 different diagrams here. In fact, for convenience, I have divided it into 2 types. Actually, there can't be any 2 types. Mind map is a mind map itself. You cannot divide it into a very what is called big mind map and a small mind map. You are not going to do that kind of classification. But of course, for the convenience of our understanding, we can just divide it into what is called 2 segments, only for the sake of understanding. One is called regular mind map, another is short mind map. Even though short is a little bigger there, but we can divide it as short mind map. Concept you need to be understanding. Let me focus on that. When you take a mind map, I have chosen here for understanding 2 different types. This is, let us say, a literature topic, some kind of an essay, let us say, and that essay, or even it can be a play or a short story, anything of that sort it can be. So you can have 5 important points. Let us say we are talking about a story. When we have a story, I can divide the story plot into 5 divisions. One is what is called the beginning point, the second is the rising action, the third one is climax, and then the action falls, and the last one is ending. So this actually is in the form of a curve, and then you can design your particular plot and the understanding of that particular part, your understanding of that plot in this particular manner. You can choose any other manner, not specifically that a particular plot should be in that. This is a particular plot which has been designed by a very great academician, Kurt Vonnegut. Kurt Vonnegut's mechanism of story mapping is really wonderful. I follow that particular system, and hence I have chosen. So on the top, you can write about the author, and on the right-hand top corner, you can also write about the themes, which you are not covering in this particular zone. This kind of mind mapping can also take you another form, which you find here, because you may ask me, sir, what about science? What about economics? What about social studies? What about public administration, political science? There are different other subjects as well. So how this particular technique is going to be useful? So that's in order to answer that, I have taken another diagram as well. You can see you place the central theme in the middle, and then you have different forms. You see, that central theme can be linked with internal diagrams. If that part, for example, it is the classification of life forms, let us say, then you have pteridophyta, coelenterata, like the different forms you have. You can just simply make those forms here. Okay, this is what is called internal diagram. Sometimes you can write text as well as diagram. The box indicates, these are the formats. The box indicates the place for diagrams, whereas the lines actually indicate text. You can easily understand that. So these are the formats, or sometimes it can be topic, subtopic, subtopics. This is the main topic, this is the subtopic, and you can have subtopics as well. You can also go in that way, because as you proceed in your life, and then as you advance in your learnings, definitely you will have more classifications coming. Please remember, how I see the entire system of training ourselves is, the more you study, the more classification you start doing. So that's how I see the system of learning. Anyway, that's a little beyond the ambit of this topic. Now after that, you can have only diagrams. Sometimes the theme is such that you have to draw only the diagram. For example, it is something like the pumping of blood, okay, inside the heart, and how the heart muscle is actually working. Maybe you feel that only the diagram is important, so you draw that particular theme, I mean that particular diagram there, connect it with the central theme, the functioning of the heart, something like that. Or only text. Sometimes you don't like any diagrams, or what about inflation, what are the reasons for it, something like that you are talking about. Or maybe some political concept you are writing about, ideal state theory or something like that you are writing, then obviously you are going to write only the text without any need of any kind of diagrams. So in that case, please limit, as I told you before, you must be limiting your attention only to the content words, that is nouns, adjectives, verbs, adverbs. So even you are going to write in the form of bullets, small bullets you can use, and then you can be writing how bullets can be made, what are the different mechanisms. You can definitely refer to our other series, Know How Now series, in which we are talking about ideography and how those ideas can be given a graphical form. We'll see all those things there, but not here. This is a little bit of away from this particular topic. Then we see short mind maps. Especially short mind maps are the internal unit. Sometimes what happens, within a particular main topic itself, the subtopic is a little elongated. So in that case, this particular second mechanism comes to our rescue. So what happens here is, you can take the white sheet, and then the subtopic is here. This is not the main topic. You can have the subtopic, or you can also have the main topic and link with the subtopics, and you can make things in this way. So you can write the text in these forms. Sometimes there can be what is called differences as well. One segment, second segment, something like coelenterata, and then you have protozoa. What are the differences? Just for the sake of your understanding, versus means differences. You can write like that. And Most importantly, after drafting all this, you must be what is called connecting this sheet with a list of topics of that unit. That is very important. Otherwise, please, learning itself is a continuous process. You cannot simply say, okay, I ended here, I won't do. No, that is not going to happen. My teacher says, learning doesn't happen in one birth. It keeps on coming. What you learn today is nothing but an aftermath of what you have already learned in your previous births. But this is not a philosophical discourse or something like that. I cannot speak about those things. But please, this has some definite reference to that. So learning is continuous. So that's the reason why don't think, okay, I have written one particular page and it's enough. No, you need to be linking it with other units of that particular thing. And then you can also write page numbers here, the topic and the page numbers you can write. And in that particular fashion, if you proceed, it would be easy for you. Here you write the topic and here you write what is called the page number or the card number or whatever it is. Suppose it is a flashcard, then you can write the card number there. Now I have chosen to write what is called a page number, and you can go in that way. Then please remember, whenever you are doing all this work, you must be studying the maps. After completing all this, you must be studying the maps so that it will go into your head. After all, that is the main agenda. I told you at the beginning of this particular video itself, the basic agenda of this video is to empower you to study for the examinations, that too just before the examinations, so that you can retain the content and reproduce that content at the relevant places inside the examination hall. So that is the main agenda. Hence, you must be studying the maps. Not you have to prepare these study maps in such a way that if you study the map itself, you have studied the topic. That is how it should be. It is a capsule of the entire thing, a microcosmic version of the macrocosmic total content. Then make copies from memory. So whenever you are writing, don't simply look into the book. You just start taking the help of your memory, and you can use them as flashcards whenever you want. Of course, you can also show these pages as flashcards to your friends, to your associates, or to the assistants, or all the people whom you wish to share the content with. So like that you can proceed. Then we go to the next most popular technique, and it appears to you most colorfully also, and it has been working wonders for a long time, and that is what is called the Pomodoro technique. In Italian, Pomodoro means a tomato. So this is called a Pomodoro. I think in Pomodoro we have 4 O's representing the 4 tomatoes. You see, I have done the same thing here. The 4 tomatoes in the word Pomodoro actually represent the 4 stages within the first stage itself. So what is this Pomodoro technique? Pomodoro technique is for those people whose study abilities, study skills are not up to the mark, especially those people who think they have to really work hard. Actually, there is no working hard in the entire world, because if something is really hard work, why would we attempt? This is the logical thing. If something is really hard, why should we attempt that? If something is easy, we should. So there is nothing that is really easy, something that is really difficult. It is what is called a question of familiarity. If you are familiar with something, then it becomes easy for you. If you are unfamiliar, it becomes tough. That is only our own perspective. Please remember this particular point before you take up this. This is a very popular one and a very successful one as well. I prescribe you people to follow this. And I beg even many of the parents, when your children are following this mechanism, please allow them to take breaks, because that is the system how it works. The system works in this way. And my dear students, whenever you are just following this mechanism, show this mechanism to your parents so that they would understand that you are taking break, because it is a part of that particular system itself. That understanding is very much important here. So in this particular stage, in this particular mechanism, what happens? Let us see. First, you have the stage 1, and of course, you have the stage 2. So I call stage 1 the performance stage, and the stage 2 is the production stage. Let us take it in that way. That would make things easy for our understanding. In stage 1, there is the first Pomodoro. Pomodoro or tomato, the first tomato means you will have to study for 25 minutes and then take rest for 5 minutes. In ideography, that is exactly what I said. I will minimize the duration of the videos to the lowest level, to the lowest possible level, because our mind doesn't want to focus on a particular thing for a longer duration. what is called retention of the content will be minimized as we proceed on. So that is the reason why I do that. So 25 minutes of study of that particular topic, then 5 minutes break. Then second Pomodoro starts. 25 minutes, again break. Then third Pomodoro, 25 minutes and again break. Then fourth Pomodoro, 25 minutes and again break. You can switch subjects as well. If you think physics is not continuously you study physics, then definitely it will, you feel a little bored, then go to another, take a language for that matter, study a story part. Especially those day scholar students will have this advantage, whereas the hostel students may not have this particular advantage. So like that, you have 4 pomodoros, 4 cycles you complete, and that can be considered as one single unit, and 4 pomodoros, 1 long break. After this, it is better not to take just only a 5 minutes break. Even though it is suggested like that, I feel after 4 pomodoros, you go to the stage 2, and then you take 1 long break. Take a big, huge break of, it is some 20 minutes, 5 into 4, 20 minutes. So 5, then 25 minutes later, here you make 25, but the system says it is 5 minutes. So I just made it like that, but make it 20 minutes. So there, then you need to be syncing your particular understanding with your schedule. Now, this planning is very important. Yamane Andavarki was one of my supervisors who was actually telling me this. Failing to plan is planning to fail. If you are failing to plan, it means you have already geared up your mind to fail in your activity. So planning is very essential. So you make your schedule, you organize yourself, and sync all these Pomodoro content with that. Okay, between 5 and 6 I do this, 6 and 7 I do this. Like that, you make your own 2 subjects or 2 topics of the same subject. The choice is yours, because each mind is entirely different. It glows entirely differently. So I cannot prescribe. I can only prescribe the time limit. The maximum limit is 25 minutes. Please don't cross that. Of course, there are people who say that I have been studying 18 hours, 20 hours, 22 hours, like that. They say, I don't know with what efficacy they do. If they really do that kind of study for 24, 22 hours, 18 hours, 16 hours, I really salute to them for that kind of ability. So it is like that. I am mostly focused with the difficulties of those people who are normal, not abnormal people. Very normal human beings I am talking about. So we have our own deficiencies as well as efficient values. So it is like that. So in this way, you are going to sync. You are going to synthesize your particular study. You are going to combine your study with your regular academic schedule. So in that way, if you can plan, you can definitely retain a lot and reproduce in the exam. So this tonal quality will immediately indicate to you that this how to study video has ended. No, it has not. You can see continued part 2. So my dear learning enthusiasts, please wait for my second video in which you are going to learn some other techniques. Roughly, let us say 8 or 7, 8 techniques I am going to tell you, which are entirely different from the regular techniques which you have learned on the board just now. I hope this video will be definitely useful to all the learning enthusiasts, and more importantly for all those students who are going to take their examinations very soon. Before I take you to the next video, let me all wish you best of luck for your examinations. Choose one of these techniques which is suitable to you. That is the last statement I would like to make with reference to this particular video. Thank you one and all, and have a great time.